Women want to test our boundaries constantly as men. And these aren't just women that we're in relationships with, women we're dating, women we're married to, but just women, period. Women in our lives, women in our families, women we work with. They are constantly testing our boundaries. Women that are our cashiers, women making our coffee, they're constantly testing to see what we will put up with and what we won't put up with. And the more you put up with, the less she will respect you as a man, the less respect she is going to give you, right? You might see this commonly, like say just randomly, like with your cashier, right? Say you're like buying a burrito or something, you ask for extra sauce and you do it kind of apologetically, like, oh, can I get like one of those sauces? I really want two, but just give me one. And then because she sees you're so weak in your frame, she'll be like, like, you ever have like a rude cashier, like they to grab the sauce and like throw it in there like you just bothered her? But if you come at a different frame, like, yeah, I want 5 sauces. 5? Yeah, 5. Give me 5. Then you just wait, you hold your frame. She will, like, even though she may not like it, she'll give you those 5 sauces. She'll give you that respect, right? Or she'll tell you, oh, we're only allowed to give 3, but I want 5. I have to charge you for the other 2. Really? You have to charge me for those 2? The burrito's already $8. I can't have 2 extra? Why not? Where's your manager? Right? If you want to make a shit of it, you can. Right? And then a lot of times a girl might just be like, okay, she'll just like give you the like extra 2 just to push her luck, right? But it's just a basic example that women are constantly testing our boundaries as men. They're just wired to do it, especially women that you are in relationships with. They're wired to test your boundaries, guys. And at the end of the day, it's like one big shit test. She wants to see how much bad behavior you'll put up with. How much can she actually get away with without you saying anything, without you calling her out, without you retaliating. And FYI, as I teach you guys, especially you guys in relationships, the only winning move you have when your girl is testing you that hard is to walk away. You must walk away. I've done this so many times on so many occasions, even recently. I'm like a professional at walking away, okay? Especially when it comes to some of the girls I'm dating. They're pretty hot. They don't need me, believe me. They could have any guy they want, right? These girls are young, hot. They're at the peak of their physical attractiveness. They don't need to be with me. They could have any man they want. It's always funny when I get an older lady like in their 30s, 40s. The reason why you date these younger women is because they're so stupid and easy to manipulate. It's like, are you insane? Are you just that delusional? You know the toughest women to pick up in the world are the youngest, hottest women out there. The women who are at the peak of their physical attractiveness. Yeah, late teens, early 20s. Those are the toughest women out there. You cannot pick them up without game these days. You need game. You need to learn pickup. You need to learn this stuff. You know, and I'm not just selling my program. It's scam. All these other guys want to call me out. No, you need game. You need pickup. And it's funny, these older ladies like say shit like that. It's like you do realize the older a woman gets, the easier it is to pick her up. Okay, it doesn't work the reverse. Like when you're young and you have a world of options at your hand, at the palm of your hand, that is when you are the most selective. But once you get in your 30s, 40s, 50s and you start to lose your looks, you are just a shit ton easier to pick up, okay? Way easier to pick up. Do not kid yourselves. Anyway, these girls don't need to be with me, right? But the reason why they stay is because I am constantly demonstrating my ability to walk away. And it's not a technique, it's not a manipulation tactic. It's how I truly feel. If I'm not being respected in a relationship, if I'm not getting what I want out of it, I mean, I'm almost like a chick that way. I'll just leave. I will just leave. I don't need you, right? I don't need to put up with your shenanigans. And just by default, the chick never lets me go. She was like, she'll call the next day, or sometimes a few days will go by. One chick even tested me almost a month. I didn't talk to her at all. Next thing you know, she was like, I want to work this out. I really want to work this out, you know? And I'm like, make a move, right? I make her work for it. Whereas back in my blue pill days, I could not hang on to these chicks for the life of me. There's no way you could get me to walk away. You quiz any of my ex-girlfriends from the 90s and the early 2000s, they'd be like, I couldn't get rid of him. I couldn't get rid of him. Whereas nowadays, I have so many options. I'm like, I don't need you. I'm just like a chick. Like I said, I act like a chick sometimes that way. I'm like, I don't need you. Bye, I'm out the door, right? If I'm not getting treated right, if I'm not getting what I want out of that relationship, I'm leaving. I'm out the door. I'll get it somewhere else. All right, I will get it somewhere else. I don't need to be here. But you have to understand, women are constantly testing our boundaries. So when a chick acts out, I have no problem walking out the door. Okay, because as I teach you guys, do not threaten your girlfriend. Okay, don't be like, I'm gonna leave, just leave. Okay, just pack up and go. Okay, you're never gonna hear from me again, just do it. Don't threaten her, just do it. Don't explain, demonstrate, okay? Demonstrate. Because your actions speak volumes over any threats you can give her, okay? You need to speak with your actions. And they have to be genuine, okay? You can't like be like, I'm gonna walk out the door, yeah, I hope she chases after me. No, it can't be that way. If you're gonna walk out the door, you gotta walk out the door. You know, and I know it's hard when you don't have any other options. That's why it's imperative you have other options. And you know what? I don't want you to mistake the fact that like, oh, you need women to have those options. I don't mean that, okay? You should have other options, basically meaning you should have other things going on in your life as well. So a lot of times when I walk out the door, if a chick gets on my nerves, I'm not going to my next girlfriend's house, okay? Instead, I'm taking my dogs out to the park. I'm gonna go work on my business. I'm gonna go hop online with my team. I'm gonna go shoot content videos. I'm doing things that are on my path and purpose. If I feel like lifting weights, I'm gonna go lift weights. If I feel like just sitting in my car listening to music, I'm gonna do that and just relax. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean just because I'm walking out the door, I'm going to the next chick's house. I don't need to be there, right? I'm gonna do what I wanna do. But if I feel like going to the next chick's house, I can do that too, right? It's just the fact that you want a pool of options to just kind of lily pad to whenever your chick acts out of line, right? Maybe you just want to go down the street, have like a nice meal, like steak and eggs or something for yourself. Go do that, right? It just leave, right? But women are always going to test our boundaries, okay? They're always going to test your boundaries. They're always going to try to get you to compromise, right? They didn't get you to compromise. That's where that shit starts, fellas. That compromising, okay? It all starts with that. Just be fair, let's compromise. No, because that's where that shit starts. I'm not saying you can't ever compromise. It's like if she wants to go to a certain restaurant, you're like, no, always go to mine. That's not what I mean. It just means like if she's constantly nitpicking at you and trying to change you, you gotta be careful of that, okay? Don't let her change who you are. Don't let her pull you out of your own core values and beliefs and start adopting hers, because that's where that shit starts. Because as I teach you guys, women, what they want is they want to get the alpha male, right? Women want the alpha male, and then once they get him, they want to turn that guy slowly beta, right? They'll start turning him slowly beta, and the second that guy allows her to turn him beta, that's when she dumps him. She starts cheating on him. She starts going out there and exploring her options, searching for the bigger, better deal, the BBD, right? You can't let her do that. You can't let her shit test you as a man and then you proceed to fail that shit test because you give in to her, you supplicate to her, you validate her. You can't do that, okay? She is always going to test your boundaries, and you have to let her know, like, hey, here are the boundaries, do not cross them. If you cross them, I am out that door. And it doesn't mean you can't come back, right? It doesn't mean you can't like not talk or go no contact for a few days, a few weeks, maybe even a few months, and then come back in the door. And if she does it again, bam, back out that door. Does it again, bam, back out that door. And I've had a few girls like that I've dated, not even that long ago, that have tested me like that. Every single time, bam, I'm out the door. They don't hear from me. And then they contact me a few weeks, a couple of months later, and if I feel like talking to them, I'll respond. But if I don't, I ain't responding. There was one girl that I was talking to, and she just kind of pushed too many times, a little too often, and she was a good-looking girl, but not enough good-looking that would warrant that type of behavior to extract that type of effort out of me. So I let her go and I just stopped responding to her. I mean, to this day, she still texts me once in a while. I just haven't responded. Every time she's texted, I've just been busy, you know? And I mean, maybe in the future if I feel like it, but right now I definitely don't feel like it. I've just had enough, you know? I've just had enough of her. So enough of her shenanigans, but she's the one who just crossed a boundary one too many times. And then I'm like, done. I don't need it. You know, I don't have anything against her. I'm just like done, out the door. And you have to be that way too. Okay, whenever a woman tests your boundaries, you're done. I'm not gonna put up with this behavior. Even women you work with, it's a little tougher when it comes to women you work with because now you're in a professional environment, right? And chicks there, they constantly try to test your boundaries too, right? When I worked in corporate America, I worked for this Fortune 100, I did advertising there. And there was this one like customer service lady that, you know, because I would always be out at appointments and meetings, and there's one customer service lady, we're in the elevator, and then she, like in front of my coworkers, started letting me have it. You're never around, you're never at your desk, da-da-da, I can't get a hold of you. I'm like, you have my cell phone. And she was like, yeah, but da-da-da-da. And I'm like, if you're gonna talk to me like that, don't talk to me. I like raised my voice. Everyone in like elevator like never heard me like raise my voice like that. And all of a sudden she stopped. Next time I saw her, that chick was like a sweetheart to me. She was like, oh, hey, how are you? Like that. And I started being nice to her, right? But anytime she stepped out of line, I let her have it. You know, and that was a coworker of mine. So big black woman too. She was actually pretty intimidating, but then she became a total sweetheart. And then we became friends before I left, which was cool. But that was that one incident that set the tone, because if I had kowtowed to her and I would have been like, yeah, sorry about that, I didn't mean it. You know, from that moment on, she would never had any respect for me. And she would have like just constantly kept up with that bad behavior to the point where I wouldn't have ended up being friends with her. I wouldn't have liked her and she wouldn't have liked me. But because I demonstrated that masculine polarity and my unwillingness to put up with that bullshit, she was like, she cut it, right? And then she realized, even after that time, there were little times here and there I could tell she wanted to say something and she didn't, because she saw me like I was ready for her and she didn't do it, because she was trying to test those boundaries, right? As she is wired to do, as any woman is wired to do. I had no sexual attraction for this chick, and she probably didn't have any for me either. But she's a woman, I'm a man, she's wired to test my boundaries. And you know what? I'm going to defend those boundaries. Do not cross those boundaries, right? I know what my beliefs are, I know what my values are. Do not cross those boundaries. And you have to be the same way, especially in relationships, guys, because if you let your woman cross those boundaries, I mean, even one time is too much. Okay, because from time to time, you just might not be on your game, right? You might be a little tired, might be a little overworked, you know, and you don't have time to deal with this, so she might get away with it here and there. Fine, right? But the times you're awake to it and you see her doing it, you gotta stop her in her tracks. Like, hey, stop. Don't talk to me like that. Knock this shit off. Like, especially when girls like act out about things that are completely illogical, trying to pick fights with you. Like bring drama to your relationship. Hey, knock it off. I want to enjoy my weekend. And you know what? If you're going to act that way, you need to be on your own. You need to be by yourself. I need to be by myself. I don't want to spend time with you, right? Because I'm a happy guy. Personally, I'm a happy guy. I love smiling and joking. I love positive energy. You know, I love being around friends, male and female, that bring that positive energy as well, where we could just be happy together. But if one of my friends, whether I'm dating them or anything like that, starts acting out, start trying to poison drip, like, hey, done. You know, I don't want to talk to you right now. I'm going to go hang out on my own. I don't want to be around you because I want to be happy, right? Unless they're dealing with some problem or something, that's totally understandable. I'm totally there for my friends. I'm like, yeah, man, what's going on? You know, but if it's like just being poison drippy, which really it's only women who do this shit, right? And they're just being like pissy. It's like generally women you're dating, if they start acting out like that, I'm not gonna spend an ounce of my energy. I'm not gonna spend waste a minute of my day dealing with this negative, toxic behavior. Right? I cut it as you should, right? Because women are designed to forever shit test us, guys. forever test our boundaries. What can they get away with? What can't they get away with? What are you willing to put up with? What are you not willing to put up with? Just like a child, and I did a coaching video on this, on women or children. Just like a child, she is constantly going to test your boundaries, her boundaries with you, okay? And you have to set your boundaries and make it very clear to her, when she crosses this, you are gone, right? You are gone, you're not gonna put up with it. And when you do that, she will respect you, she will love you, she will like be all over you, right? The reason why is because you're demonstrating that masculine polarity on such a genuine level that it's impossible for her not to feel attraction for you, okay? Because her feminine energy needs that. A woman needs a guy who can stand up for himself, right? He needs to demonstrate that masculine polarity. There's no bigger turn on for a woman than a guy who can demonstrate that masculine polarity by staying strong in his frame. She will jump your bones if you can do that. If you could put her in her place, call her out on her shit, let her know, hey, don't cross the boundary. She will be all over you like white on rice. Okay, this is why you see these women who are like dating guys who are feminine themselves. There's no yin and yang there, right? She's feminine and he's feminine. And she's like grossed out by that. This is why a lot of women, like admittedly, don't want guys who are feminine. They don't want guys who are little bitches. Because it's like, why would I want to date a guy who acts like a girl? No, they want to date a guy who acts like a man. They want to date a man's man. They need that yin and yang. It's just like you don't want to date a girl who's masculine, right? Because you're already masculine. You don't want to date a girl who's masculine. You want to date a girl who's feminine, who smells good, who looks pretty, right? Who dresses up for you. You don't want to date a girl who is like you, right? You don't want to date, like I see some of these PUAs like pick up these alpha, they call them alpha females. And to me, whenever I see these girls, they're just loud, mouthy, disrespectful women. And it's like, why would you even want that in your life, dude? Why? That's nothing but a headache, right? Why would you want to bring more chaos and drama to your life when as a man, you have enough to deal with already? Why would you want that in a dating partner, right? But when it comes to these women, you gotta let them know where the boundaries are, fellas, all right? Let them know where the boundaries are. Whenever she tries to test you and shit test you, let her know, don't cross the boundary. Don't cross it, girl, because if you do, I'm out the door. So with that said, I'm gonna wrap up here. Until next time, this is M. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also hit that notification bell right next to it so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on YouTube. More importantly, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It is very important you guys subscribe to my channel because too many of you guys are still not subscribed to my channel yet. And you're following all these other guys, like I said, that don't have proof, don't have any infields, are just kind of up in the command tower, barking out their orders, talking down to PUAs. You know what? Subscribe to my channel because I'm actually out there doing it. And I post my results all the time. Follow me on Instagram at MattCrossOfficial too if you don't believe me. So hit that subscribe button as well. It helps me out a ton, guys, and I really appreciate it. And you know what? Anytime I upload a brand new coaching video to YouTube, you are going to be the very first to get it. So you won't have to like wait weeks and weeks or try to find it on YouTube somewhere. Instead, you're gonna be the very first to get it. You're gonna be first in line. Okay, and all you need to do is hit that subscribe button below. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, right? Subscribe to my channel, guys. And for you guys who want to support my work, support my content, and all of this red pill knowledge I'm teaching guys here even further, that is coming straight from the field and not from the command tower, the best way to do that is to jump into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking 8s, 9s, and 10s, and not up in the command tower, but out there in the real world, in real life. I'm talking about real life, young, beautiful women. Okay, I teach you how to approach these girls, how to close them. You know, anybody in the manosphere, I've noticed like most of these guys who have these channels, even some of the big channels, these guys are not out in field. They're not out there doing game, definitely not 4 to 5 times per week like I am. They're not out there constantly approaching these real life women day in and day out. They're definitely not taking students out to do that. They are pretty much sitting up safely in the command tower, right? Just barking down their theories and then telling you about these pickup artists. They're all sociopaths and they're all scam artists. They're all teaching you how to memorize lines. And it's like, that's not what game is about, right? Game and pickup is about being able to walk up to a drop dead gorgeous woman, okay? Being able to walk up to that girl and be a real, authentic, and most genuine self without filtering yourself and without falling under her beautiful woman spell, so much so that you get sucked out of your frame and pulled into hers. You get sucked out of your reality and pulled into hers, where now she's controlling the frame. And now she's treating you like a little bitch because you can't be yourself in front of her. And you guys might think, well, every guy should be able to do that. No, guys can't do that. Okay, it takes skill. It takes skill to walk up to a dime piece. I'm talking about a perfect 10 and not get intimidated. Be able to look her dead in the eye without flinching, without your pupils dilating, and she will look for that. Okay, because most guys, they walk up to a girl and it's like, you know, especially if that girl is a few points above him on the look scale, it's hard for guys to stay icy, non-reactive. That's a pickup artist term, okay? It's hard for guys to stay icy and non-reactive. When you see me in set with a girl, no matter how bad she shit tests me, I've even posted photos on my Instagram. You guys who want to follow my Instagram, I post my infield photos there all the time, at @MattCrossOfficial. Follow me on Instagram. I post my infields all the time. You can see all the proof of what I'm actually doing in field and what I'm actually teaching you, okay? I'm not up in the command tower sitting safely behind my microphone and my camera shooting out theories based on that one relationship I had 20, 30 years ago. No, I'm giving you my experiences fresh from in the field because that's what I do. I'm a pickup artist. I'm still out there gaming after all these years, right? I get a lot of haters going, yeah, when are you gonna stop doing this pickup? Aren't you getting a little old? You know, and it's like, they say the same about Tom Brady. When are you gonna stop playing, dude? And he's like, when I want to. I still feel strong. I still feel good. My arm still feels great. And I still feel the same way about pickup. I still feel passionate about it. I still feel like I could easily go another 10 years. Easily. So I'll be around for a while, guys. I'm not going anywhere. Okay? Easily got another 10 years ahead of me. No problem. I'm full of energy. I'm full of passion. I'm full of life. I love doing game. I love taking students out. I love approaching new girls. I love it when they shit test me. I love the new challenge. I just love to do it. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. And this is exactly why I don't want a girlfriend right now. Right now, I've got a 5-6 girl dating rotation. And every single one of those girls wants a relationship from me. And I've told every single one of them, you know what? I'm in the 4th quarter of my pickup career. I feel like I'm at my best right now. And the last thing I'm going to do is settle down. The last thing I want to do is be locked down right now. I'm sorry, I like you, but if you're still there at the end of the tunnel, let's see what happens, okay? Because these are cool girls. I like all of them. I like all of them. Some more than the others, obviously. And I mentioned this before, like half of them try to stop me from like going out there. The other half are fully supportive. So the half that are like really supportive of me right now, and like I'm behind you 100%, those are girls I'm like, yeah, we'll see what happens at the end of the tunnel. And obviously I keep meeting new girls when I'm out there. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I live by the seat of my pants. I don't like to plan that far ahead. Okay, the only times I plan that far ahead is with my business. And even then, we fly by the seat of our pants. I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, because I've been called out too by other like content creators going, yeah, you know, he only had like 10,000 subscribers up until 2019. And it's like, no, dumbass. I had 30,000 subscribers like a year or two ago. I was already at 30,000, okay? My very first year on YouTube, I remember my first 6 months, I believe, I was already at 10,000. Okay, this was 2012. I was already at 10,000 subscribers. And it wasn't that hard to get there. I was dishing out a lot of red pill content. You know, because a lot of these guys are like, he just recently started uploading red pill content. And it's like, no, jackass, go look at the history on my YouTube channel and see the very first 5 to 10 videos that I was uploading, even more than that. They were all red pill. All of it was red pill, okay? All of it was red pill. The Manosphere, red pill, MGTOW, all came from pickup artistry. Do not bullshit yourselves. All came thanks to us, pickup artists. We were the ones who were out there learning these lessons in field firsthand and sharing them online, on the internet, okay? Sharing them with everybody. And then what happened was so many guys were learning this stuff that just by default, guys were starting to get red pill because they were approaching women, and then, women would flake on them or they would get rejected. And, some guys pushed through, some guys didn't, but they started to form their own faction going, hey, I'm just done with this. I don't want anything to do with women. They formed MGTOW. And then within the last 5 years, like, red pill really started to make its way onto the scene, so much so where it's mostly like red pill, MGTOW, red pill, MGTOW. That's mostly of what you see guys gravitating to, and you see guys, like less guys gravitating towards pickup artistry. And I've mentioned this before, even at the time I started my pickup business, pickup was already losing its popularity. But what was funny to me was it still worked. All the techniques still work. Even to this very day, the techniques still work. I will stand behind them. I'll stand behind them until I die, okay? The techniques work. And I still continue to teach them. The good thing about it is there's not all these pickup artists all over approaching all these beautiful women anymore. Whereas like before there were, and a lot of times back, like even just 10 years ago, some girls would be like, some guy did something really similar, right? Actually, the last 2 or 3 guys who approached me did something really similar. And it wasn't like the same lines, but it was like she felt the same process, right? Because there's 5 steps to a proper approach. So she felt the same process. And now I haven't come across that in a long time, just because so many guys have gravitated towards, I want nothing to do with women. Or guys have just gravitated towards red pill and just, they're not focused on pickup anymore game. But this stuff is still very valuable. It's still very powerful. I use it not only in my dating life, but I use it in my business life. I've used it to create a very successful online business. I've used it to create a second online business now where I'm doing like more of business coaching. I've used it on myself to get into better shape. I've used it to negotiate car purchases. I've used it to create content. I mean, this stuff is wickedly powerful, and it just makes me laugh my ass off when I see these naive content creators piss on pickup and talk about it like it's a bad thing. Talk about it like it's all a scam, it doesn't work. I laugh my ass off. My students laugh their ass off at them too. Whenever we're out and we're like pulling home some hotties, we are laughing our asses off at how sad and pathetic those guys are. Right now, I'm giving away the very first month of 7 Months to Mastery, the very entire first month for just $1, okay? So it's $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. And the great thing about it is after the first month of 7 Months to Mastery, you will actually have enough skill and enough knowledge to walk up to any attractive girl that you see out there that previously you would have been afraid to. Now you will have the skill and the knowledge to be able to walk up to her, and you'll know what to say and what to do in practically any situation you find yourself in with that girl. And just as an added bonus, right now I'm also including a free cheat sheet as part of that very first month of 7 Months to Mastery, right? And in this free cheat sheet, it features my top 5 openers, both direct and indirect, as well as my top 5 negs, top 5 DHVs, and my top 5 objections. If the girl gives you an objection like, oh, I've got a boyfriend, I'm not interested, or, you're not my type, I tell you exactly how to respond to her based on those top 5 most common objections, okay? And most of them are just gonna be a shit test. All that is when a girl tells you she has a boyfriend is a shit test. I tell you how to overcome that shit test and turn it and spin it into attraction, okay? To where the girl's eyes light up. She gives you those Bambi eyes, okay? We call it the Bambi eyes, or the doggy dinner bowl look from the old pickup community. But I teach you how to do these things all in the very first month of 7 Months to Mastery. And the first month, like I said, right now it's only $1, okay? It's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. And this is the absolute best way to support my work. And in return, you're gaining an immense amount of value and knowledge in return. Knowledge and skills that you will be able to use for the rest of your life. So even if you don't continue on with the program, you're gonna be able to take these skills and use them for the remainder of your lifetime whenever you see an attractive girl you want to approach, right? That you want to approach out there. And moreover than that, you will be able to use them in your own life beyond just game, beyond just dating women. Like I said, you could use it on yourself. You could use it to negotiate car purchases, house purchases, right? To build a business. Stuff is very, very powerful. So if you want to join 7 Months of Mastery, it's real simple. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.